This initiation ceremony means that we are recognizing heroes and giving them a chance to further become more dear to Krishna. In this life, you have to serve someone. 24/7, every moment of the day and night, we are rendering service. The Bhakti Yogi understands who is the supreme object of service. The one whom, if you please, everything is forgiven. To take a stand, as they are doing, is a most rare event in this day and age. They're firmly and solemnly declaring that they will live life for Krishna's pleasure. The storms of the illusory energy may blow, and will blow, but their vows keep them steady. You may wonder, those of you who are guests, how can they make such promises? As you'll hear them do. Isn't there so much mental and physical agitation present in society? Yes, that's true. How can anyone take such a heroic stand as they're doing? Is it really possible? Yes, it is completely possible if we strive by right means, in the right association. So these candidates for initiation have demonstrated that they are serious and solemn about the real undertaking in life, the real occupation, the real journey. The path of bhakti involves both positive and negative. The negatives are in terms of don't do this and don't do that. And the positives are in terms of how to increase the attraction for Krishna, who is unlimitedly attractive. We need real heroes in society today. People don't know where to turn in spite of so-called advancement of technology. The technology seems to be advanced, the military is advanced. Everything is so complicated, but what about the human beings themselves? Don't you wonder? In the midst of all this external so-called advancement, the human beings are the same and in the same lowly state. Why a lowly state? Because they have no idea how to control their mind and senses, and therefore they'll easily be manipulated by others and dominated by their own lower self. So this initiation ceremony signals the opportunity for real human life, real human civilization. Those who are taking these vows are not embarking on some kind of suicide course. I'll never be able to do this. There is support. There is education. There is nourishment and training. In this way, they can proceed toward the most cherished goal in life, reviving the dormant love of Krishna. Please give them your support. Give them your appreciation. Again, you may wonder, what happens when they confront the usual pressures of everyday life. The agitations, the challenges. What will happen to them? Well, one example that may help us to understand is if you've ever undertaken a fast. Those who are bhakti yogis fast on special occasions to celebrate the appearance of Krishna and his devotees. Now in the alternative health world, people recognize the value of fasting. So whether you're fasting for spiritual reasons or simply bodily health reasons, you know that your stomach will rumble. You'll see others eating and you'll feel what we call the screaming munchies inside your stomach. But what happens? How do you protect yourself? You remember it's a fast. And I have taken up the vow not to eat until a certain time. So that vow helps to protect you from your boat being capsized. Yes, the boat may rock. The waves may push the boat this way and that way. But your vows help to keep you focused and steady. So vows are a very important part of spiritual life. They fortify you. And of course, vows make you serious in the eyes of the person you're trying to relate to or serve. You can remember in the days when people used to get married. The vows were meant to show the world, society, and also show the persons entering marriage that we have commitment. There is commitment. For any relationship to be taken seriously, there must be commitment. Otherwise, here today, gone tomorrow. In spiritual life, we want to give pleasure to Krishna. We want to revive our love for Krishna. And commitment, showing commitment is a very important part of that. Commitment means integrity, sincerity. Remember the old marriage vows? Some of you may remember them. Through poverty and wealth, through sickness and health, till death do us part. In other words, the marriage vows were meant to fortify you for transiting all the difficult moments in life. Much more serious and much more weighty are the spiritual vows. Because this goal that they're dedicating themselves to is the greatest treasure in life. The goal of self-realization, enlightenment, but better known as pure love of Krishna. The love supreme, the rarest and most precious attainment, beyond anything material. So they're dedicating themselves to that quest. And it's not that they'll only benefit when they reach their ultimate goal. Immediately, as soon as they begin their bhakti process, benefits are revealed. beginning of the journey, in the middle of the journey, and at the completion of the journey. You can always experience the benefits. Sometimes we wonder that maybe these persons are just vowing to live a certain way only for the reward that's way down the road in the next life. They're sacrificing all the nice things of this life for something in the hereafter. Oh, I can never do that. But no, the nectar of bhakti, Krishna consciousness, is tasted from the very beginning. And as you near the goal, the taste becomes sweeter and sweeter. But from the very beginning, you're tasting. And you never get tired of chanting Hare Krishna, engaging in Krishna's service. Satiation is what people are yearning for. They want to feel that I'm fully satisfied. But satiation is never attained in material life. Have you noticed that? No matter how much of something you get, you're not satisfied. So finally, why do you stop pursuing those material goals? You stop not because you're satisfied, but because the thrill has gone. The pleasure has faded. You don't get enough. You just get tired of doing the same thing over and over again, trying to enjoy it. You can name, and this is a challenge I often make, you can name any material pleasure or indulgence. Anything you like. And you know that if you indulge in it continuously, finally you'll become disgusted, although not satisfied. This is the riddle of material existence, which defeats us at every step. People say, don't stop until you get enough. But you never get enough. And you're never satisfied. Whereas in spiritual life, in bhakti yoga, Krishna consciousness, you're fully satisfied, but yet you want more. In material life, you're not satisfied and you want more. And finally you just give up because whatever you're doing becomes so distasteful after a while. Even if it's your favorite indulgence, even if you're being around your favorite person, after a while you need to take a break, right? You generally tell the other person, oh, I need to visit mother, or you make up some excuse, right? In the hope that when you come back to that person, things will be fresher. So you can't be around your favorite person 24/7 nonstop. You can't indulge in your favorite material activity 24/7 nonstop without just, I gotta do something else. And without experiencing how the flavor you thought was there just dissipates, it's lost. And the activity even becomes disgusting, repulsive. Oh, I gotta know. Just like ice cream. You may love to eat ice cream. And the first few scoops you think are satisfying. But you want more, you want more, you want more. How many cartons of ice cream can you eat before you finally... It started off so tasty, right? And you want to enjoy, so you take more and more and more ice cream. Finally, your stomach is just packed to the maximum. The ice cream is coming up your, up into your throat. Anything material is like that. But what else are we to do? We tell ourselves, I want to enjoy. There's nothing else for me to enjoy except material objects. I have to try to be satisfied, even though I know I won't be satisfied. This is the fix that we're caught in. This is the paradox that dominates our life. I have to try to be satisfied, although I know I'm not going to be satisfied. People try to convince themselves that the effort is worth it in relationships, in possessions, acquisitions, achievements. I think I'll be satisfied this time. If I just try a little bit more, if I just make this change, make this adjustment, I'll be satisfied. It never happens. You can pack your life with all the conveniences, all the indulgences, and you'll never be satisfied. Whereas in spiritual life, in bhakti yoga, any contact with Krishna satisfies you fully, but you still want more. This is life on the spiritual platform. You are satisfied, but Krishna is ever fresh, and you want more and more, even though you're satisfied. Material life means you're not satisfied, and you want more and more and more. Spiritual life means you are satisfied, but you want more, you want more. It's a big difference. Sometimes people feel sorry for these persons who are taking such vows. Or else they say, well, I guess someone has to do it. Not me. Some of them are young, energetic, vibrant. So you might think, some of our guests might think, what are they doing to themselves? Why go to such an extreme? To be religious, you have to go through all this. Isn't spirituality whatever you make of it? One very popular New Age author of some years ago wrote something. He wrote many top-selling books. He wrote something that always sticks out in my mind. He said, how do you judge what is a genuine spiritual path? Find that path with the least rules and regulations. And then you have found a genuine spiritual path. Because rules and regulations press down on your shoulders and keep you from floating up to the spiritual platform. We don't have so many rules and regulations here, but it's just some things people think are impossible to live without. So sometimes people wonder, why go through to such an extent? But just think of someone who has a career. And their goal is to rise up the corporate ladder. After 20 or 30 years, maybe to be CEO, CFO. You wouldn't say, well, why are you going through all that? You would say, follow your dream. We're all behind you. So we have this, often we have this inbuilt prejudice against spiritual dedication and spiritual vows. As if it's something that you should do on the side, but don't make it the main deal of your life. But if the spiritual pleasure is far superior to the material pleasure, why not focus on that? And why not help others to focus on that? These first initiates are being formally enrolled in the Academy of Chanting Hare Krishna. They've been chanting Hare Krishna before in preparation, but now they're officially enrolling. They're committing themselves, and that means that Krishna will take them more seriously. Just like in a traditional society, not now, but in a traditional society, when persons are married, people take them more seriously. Up until that point, anything can happen. But of course, these days, anything can happen at any moment. By their formally enrolling in the Academy of the Hare Krishna mantra, they're formally entitled to all the benefits. Now it's a fact that the benefits come immediately, initiated or not. As soon as your tongue touches the holy name, touches the Hare Krishna mantra, there's an effect. This is stated by Sri Krishna Chaitanya in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prime Bhakti text. The Hare Krishna mantra doesn't wait for anything in order to produce a reaction. But when there's commitment and the following through of that commitment, the effect is more pronounced, it's more intense. We ask everyone to chant Hare Krishna, but as you get more serious about it, you become aware that there are offenses to avoid while chanting. So that you take the chanting very seriously, and Krishna, who is hearing your chanting, takes you more seriously because you're trying to be careful about your chanting. Just like in talking to someone dear to you, you're careful about what you say and how you say it. So as we become more purified, we become more and more concerned with the quality of our sound vibration, our chanting. And we try to avoid making offenses, whether we're aware of it or not. That means we're more sensitive about our personal relationship. The Hare Krishna mantra is the same as Krishna. Therefore, it's a very personal activity to chant the Hare Krishna mantra, to make the daily practice of the Krishna mantra meditation. So we ask these initiates to please, now that you're officially enrolling, please dedicate yourself to chanting with quality. Be conscious of the offenses in chanting. Study them. Seek to avoid them. And as one of our great masters in the line of teachers and students, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, has said, all the offenses to chanting can be avoided simply by our paying attention while we chant. If you're really listening to someone, you'll be very sensitive toward that person. You're really focused on what someone says. That person will be impressed. You're really listening. You're really trying to understand. So similarly, when we chant Hare Krishna, we're always yearning for maximum attention. never think that we are attentive enough. In this way you can see, I hope, that chanting Hare Krishna is indeed the gateway to deeper experience of Krishna, the unlimitedly attractive Krishna. You're going to hear them make the heroic vows. For our guests, this will be very exciting. Gosh, can they really do it? Could I ever do such a thing? Yes, you can. But rest assured, you can only give up the lower self when you know how to tap into your higher self. Krishna explains this in the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. You can't control your mind and senses without having a superior experience to be accessed. So they're not like kamikazes, you know. They've got something superior going for them. So we'd like our guests to become curious. What is it that could allow them to commit themselves to such practices? Through thick and thin, through stormy weather, through the rain, through the sunshine. What is it that they've got going for them? Yes, unless they have something superior and substantial going for them, they can't keep such vows in this day and age. But the nectar of Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness, overwhelms, if you'll let it, overwhelms any so-called pleasure of material existence. We just have to put ourselves in position for being overwhelmed. The sun is shining, but if you wear sunglasses and are completely covered, then you won't get your vitamin D and you won't benefit so much from the sunshine. But if you dress in such a way that you soak up maximum sunshine, then you'll benefit. So the Bhakti Yoga process is about making yourself open for Krishna. And because the Krishna experience is so superior, you close off the lower stuff. It's so temporary. The common example given is that if your cup is full of milk, there's no room in the cup for a ink. So if your life is full of genuine spiritual development, there's no room for the inferior, paltry, minuscule, so-called pleasures of material existence, for which we have to work so hard just to get a little appearance of so-called pleasure. The process of material enjoyment is very demanding. And it depends on so many conditions. This has to be right, that has to be right. How's my body feeling? Am I in a good mood today? Do I have enough money for this experience? How's the weather outside? I'm supposed to be going somewhere with some people. Are they people I can trust? I could trust them last week, but what about this week? So many conditions have to be met. Will the world blow up in the process? Oh, climate change. Are we in an area that's on someone's nuclear target list? On and on the anxieties. I've got a job now. Will it be phased out tomorrow? So much anxiety, so many conditions. tiny drop of so-called pleasure. So when you think about that, then you understand what these candidates are doing is actually the easier way to live. They're making it easy on themselves, not more difficult. It is a fact that by controlling your mind and senses, life becomes easier. It is a fact that by tapping into the superior Krishna pleasure, you avoid so much disappointment, so much wastage of energy and money because of our false pursuits. So actually, the bhakti lifestyle is superior. But because we may not be aware of the superior Krishna experience, we might even feel sorry for them. Gosh, you're really missing out. They have a real job. They have a real career. Attaining the ultimate goal of life. Tasting that now and in the future. So please, give them your resounding cheers. Your appreciation. Your support. And those of you who are wonderful guests, please dare to entertain the thought, maybe I could do this. Allow yourself to be inspired. So now, we'll give names or Devakshana. No, I'm waiting. We'll give
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Holding hands. Om Apavitra Pavitrava Dehe Sharva Avastha Gato Api Va Smare Kundare Taksha Sha Haya Abhantara Shuchihi Shri Krishna Shri Krishna Shri Krishna.
make it simple.
सिंह राशि शरद ऋतु चतुर्थ ऋतु वर्तमान जम्बूद्वीपे भारतवर्षे
We'll call the candidates up one by one, and we'll hear them make their vows, what not to do and what to do. Just looking to see how they're going to make their obeisance. Head this way. All right. Toby, is yours? Oh, you haven't seen it. So I first met Toby in New Zealand, where he was introduced to chanting Hare Krishna, Bhakti Yoga, and then he went back to Germany. He also visited here for a short time. Normally I would ask someone to wait longer in their preparation for initiation, but he's received from the doctor that he has a medical ailment in which any moment he could give up his body, or he could be around for 40 years. Of course, we're all living in such a situation that at any moment, that could be the end of our present body. Those of you who know about Srimad Bhagavatam, the graduate study to Bhagavad Gita, know that the situation that Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken is one in which Parikshit Maharaj, a king, knew that he had 7 days to live. And so he wanted to use those 7 days exclusively for focusing on hearing about Krishna. So Toby has been accelerated, shall we say, by the news from the doctor. Most persons, when they think of being in that situation, they think, well, I would be devastated at first. Here I am, a young man, full of vitality and virility. And I get a notice that any moment without warning, that could be it. So after being devastated for a month or so, he realized, well, I've got to be proactive. I've got to take my spiritual life more seriously. So he has a recommendation from temple president in Germany, and I thought about it. As I say, this is quicker than normally what I accept, but because of his precarious health situation. In fact, he was just in the hospital for how many days in Hungary?
Few days.
3 days, yes. Sudden onslaught or something. So his situation is serious, but so is our situation. We don't know if we have 7 minutes. We're so sure I'll be around. I'm too good to die early. I'm too nice. But that reality is something else. So what are the 4 rules?
Not eating fish or eggs. I promise not taking any intoxication. I promise not engaging in gambling. I promise to not have sex.
And what to do every day?
At least 16 rounds of chanting.
So these vows are whether you live for 2 more days or live for 50 years. Not that. It's been 30 years so far. Wow. Let's go for material enjoyment. Whether you have a few seconds more or you have 50 years more, still, these vows are your personal commitment, your personal asset. So now we'll give you your new name. Your new name is Keishi Nishudana. Keishi Nishudana is a name for Krishna, the destroyer of the Keishi demon. You may recall it. You may recall it at chapter 18, verse 1 in Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna says, Krishna, you are Hrishikesh, the Lord of the senses, and you are Keishi Nishudana, the destroyer of the Keishi demon. I have some doubts. Please destroy them, because doubts are like demons. So your name is Keishi Nishudana. Very famous in the UK, Nikhil. So as I said, Nikhil is famous throughout the UK, and now that time has come after some years in which he'll relinquish his previous identity and be fully enrolled in the Bhakti Academy and have a spiritual name. He lived in the Brahmacharya ashram at the manor, the ashram for monk trainees, and then, as many do, he decided to prepare for married life. We'll see who's the fortunate one to. I'll put the word out there. I have to say, speaking objectively, there is a cheaper way of life, but so we're very happy to officially enroll Nikhil in Krishna's family, Srila Prabhupada's mission. What are the 4 rules?
No eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex.
And what you do every day?
Chant a minimum 16 rounds of the mantra daily.
All right. Your new name is Narasimha Nam. Just the name of Narasimha drives away all fear of material existence. Pete. Hare Peter's another one I first met in New Zealand. He was touring New Zealand, and the last thing he was thinking about was that one day he would be making vows like this. Yet here he is, and he's become very dear to all the devotees here with his genuine nature and always upbeat personality. So what are the 4 rules?
No meat eating, fish or eggs, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication.
And what to do every day?
Chanting 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna mantra.
Your new name is Boma Brindavan. Boma Brindavan refers to Krishna's Vrindavan that apparently is present in the material world, but it's equivalent to Goloka Vrindavan. It's the Vrindavan that seems to be visible to material eyes. And when Krishna comes to this world, he has his pastimes in Boma Vrindavan.
Ian's march, going in your hand. The ashram for how many years? 4 years. Yes. I must say, he's the quietest person I've ever met. But when he has his objective to tell people about Krishna, he does talk. That's wonderful. So we're very happy to give him formal enrollment in chanting Hare Krishna and engaging in Krishna service. What are the 4 rules?
No intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no eating meat, fish, rice.
And what to do every day?
Chant 60 rounds of the Maha mantra every day.
Your new name is Gopi Raman. Gopi Raman means Krishna, who is the enjoyer of the gopis. All right. OCG. CG's from the south of England, but he's been coming to Cardiff for a few years now, and he told me he considers Cardiff his home temple. And Tarkanath Prabhu, the president, has lots of plans how to utilize your talents. CG is very expert at massaging the bureaucracy. In order to get various permits, grants, and all those kind of things that, in order to get, requires a certain finesse and knowledge of the bureaucratic apparatus. Of which there's only a little bit in the UK. And he's gradually going to relocate here. So that he has exciting bhakti opportunities. So what are the 4 rules?
No intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling, no meat, fish, flights.
Yeah. And what to do every day?
Minimum 16 rounds of the mile one time.
All right. Your new name is Sura Priya. Sura Priya means Krishna, who's very dear to those who are Sura, those who are devotees. Sura Priya.
Children, Prabhu ki